Welcome back to Cybernetics. So in this video, we'll be doing constructors, what constructors are and how to be used them. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So what is a constructor? Constructor is basically a method that is called when an object is instantiated. When object is generally instantiated in the main function of the main class. And where do we initialize constructors? We initialize constructors in every class that we create. And the name of the constructor is generally the name of the, not generally, it's always the name of the class. So what is the use of a constructor? Constructor initializes the object with the values that are inside the class. So if a class has, assume it has three variables like number one, number two, number three. So the newly created object also has those three variables, number one, number two, number three. So that's basically what constructor is used for. Now let's see how this is used in actual programming. And by the way, there are two types of constructors that are parameterized and non-parameterized. In parameterized constructors, you send the values that you want to initialize the variables with. In non-parameterized values, you already define the values that you have to initialize the variables with. That's basically the difference between them. So I define the class constructor and I'm defining the main method inside this. So this is going to be my main class. And now I'll define another class that is test1. Not defining the access specifier because when you don't define anything, it's basically public by default. And this is the class in which I'll be using the constructor, so I'll define a variable x. So we'll initialize values to this. Now observe carefully, I'll initialize a method with the same name as the name of class. So test1 and I'll open brackets. Okay, I've done a mistake on purpose. I hope you guys find it out by the time I tell you. Now inside the main function, I'll be declaring the object. I've explained how to declare an object in my previous videos. That is class name, name of the object equal to keyword new, and then class name with brackets. That is constructor. So we are initializing the values. So that basically calls the function that is inside the test1 class. So int x is being initialized with the value that we specified here. Now I'll write an output statement. I hope you guys made out the mistake that I said I made on purpose. I'll run the function, I'll run the program. Okay, so there's a typo in the keyword system. I'll correct it. And now you can see that the output we're getting is not the value that we passed to the function. To the variable that we specified in the constructor. That is because the written type of the constructor that we defined inside the class is void. So I hope all of you know what void is. Void basically returns nothing. It returns a null value. Null is 0 unless it's not anything else. So that is what happened here. So I'm going to change the name of return type of the method and run the program again and see what output we get. We gave the return type as void here. Now let me remove void and we must get 5 this time. Yeah, we're getting 5. So this is a constructor with no parameters. Now let's try sending a constructor with a parameter. For that, we just have to give the value inside this, and then we have to accept the values here. This is the formal parameter, and this one is the actual one. And then we have to pass y to x. This should be it, and we're getting 5. So this is the difference between a parameterized constructor and non-parameterized constructor. So to brush it up, constructors are basically used to initialize values in a class to allocate some memory to them. That's it in this video. Hope you liked it. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back with more subscribers.